What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video, and today we've got this amazing Toyota RAV4. Now this is one of the most popular cars to be upgraded. You can see on this one you've got this factory 4.8-inch screen, which we're going to change to go from this into this 10.1-inch screen. So without any further delay, let's get started into another episode of DIY Made Easy. Now the disassembly part on this car is quite easy. The first part you have to remove is the silver trim around here. So this is just held in by clips from behind. So what I like to use is this nice pry tool, just put it behind the trim, create a little bit of gap, and then you can run your finger around and get the whole thing out. Now once this thing is out, next part is removing the head unit itself. Now before removing the head unit, you have to remove some of these parts. So first one is this digital panel here. In order to get this out, you can just simply pry it open with your trim tool. And you don't really have to disconnect this, you can leave it hanging on the side. Next part is removing the AC ducts from either side. So you can go in from the top, you can see the yellow clips that releases the AC ducts. One on either side. Put it to the side. Now you will have 4 10 mils, so 1, 2, 3, and 4. Go ahead and remove that, and that will allow for you to slide the whole radio out of place. Once you got the screw out for your main radio, put something nice and thick with microfiber so you don't scratch the climate panel underneath. Slide it underneath the radio, and then you can slide it out of place. Lay it there and go ahead and undo all of the plugs behind. And with that, your radio is pulled apart. Now behind here, you will see on either side, there's 2 yellow clips on either side. So go ahead and take those clips out. You can just pry them open or even use your finger to just pull it back out. This is what we're going to mount in the new fascia that comes in the new kit. Now here's everything that we're going to be installing in this installation. So that's your head unit. That's the Kenwood mic that we like to use as an external mic. So it can use one mic external, one mic internal to have very good sound clarity. Then you've got 2 power harness. Now one of them will fit your car and one of them will not. So you have to see which one is matching more plugs. It all depends on what your factory spec is. And then you've got all the accessory that comes in, like your GPS antenna, your SIM card tray, your Wi-Fi antenna, USB ports, and all the other stuff that comes in for your car. So let's go ahead and start mounting all of this in, and once it's all mounted, we'll do a test. And once you see everything is working, we can go ahead and tape it up, make everything look nice and neat. So let's get started with that. All right, so now coming along to the wiring part of it, so you can see we've got these 2 big chunky connectors, one of the wide ones, your USB retention, a rear camera plug, as well as your aerial. So you want to find something that can match all of them. Now what I'm going to do is to try and use this harness, which is the MH321. So we'll see how many of them can this one fit into. Fit into most of them, but the problem you see here is there's no camera lead coming out of the factory harness that's going to go into our unit. So then this is not the right harness, so we can go ahead and take this out. On to the next. Now the next harness I'm using here is the MHHW006. This car might be fitted with a factory amp as well, so let's see if there's a factory amp by testing it. So 1, let's go the aerial, 2, 3, and we go 4 and 5. All right, so now this one seems to be ticking most of the boxes. Now you can see this 1 and 2 big plugs have not been connected. Now they don't necessarily need to be connected, because as you will see right here, this plug is basically the same as the other one. So they've got the same leads coming out of either one. So your car can have either one of the 2, and you can plug in the one that's suited to your car. Now we can go ahead and plug everything back into our system and test for it. In the meantime, this black plug that comes in the kit, we'll go to the silver one here. So this is your USB retention, so the factory USB can continue to work. That's it, and that's your CAN bus. So CAN bus will go in here. That way you have your steering controls, reverse trigger, signal, all of that stuff working. And now all that we have to do is to plug things in behind our screen, test it, make sure everything is working. Once it's all working, then we can go ahead and mount our aerials, the SIM card tray, additional USB ports and stuff. So when plugging things in, I'll be plugging the camera here. Now you'll notice everything can only go in one way at the back of the unit, so you can't get it wrong as long as you don't force anything in. 2, and my CAN bus plug, which is a white square plug, the small one there. There we go. As you can see, only 3 plugs for testing. Hop in on the other side, turn the car on, see if there's any audio. If there isn't, I'll show you how to get the audio back on. We do have audio working, so there's no amp in this car, but if in your case the audio is not working, you will see there will be this pink wire called amp control, and there's another blue wire called amp control. So what you want to do is join them together and then join them to the red power wire coming out of here. That's basically an amp trigger turning the amp on. In this case, we did not have to worry about that. Now let's try the reversing camera. Now, as you can see, the reverse camera is going all haywire and crazy. So just touch the screen, click the setting button here, click on the camera button here, the camera setting, click on that and click NTSC. That's the camera format. Now your camera is back up like how it was from factory. From here on, we can put it back into park. Now we can start mounting our new stuff in. We can start routing our cables and making everything tidy. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright, so the first thing that I'm going to do here in terms of wiring is cut in all of the zip ties. That will make it easier for me to wire everything up and tape everything up. Once you've got all of the zip tie out, you can start taping things up to make it all look nice and neat. So first thing I'm going to do is this canvas wire here. Tape just a bit more than halfway, so you still have a little bit of room if you ever need to tap into it for something. Let's go ahead and break it off here. Same thing with your power harness. Now you can see this one is the one we're not using, so we can go ahead and tape over it so we know we don't have to plug it back in. So now, as you guys can see here, now it's looking a lot nicer and neater compared to this was before. And now this is what it looks like after. You see there's a big difference. It all looks nice and neat. So if you ever have to take it out, do something, make an upgrade, change your sound system, upgrade your speakers, add an amp, anything you would have to do behind, it's all nice and tidy. So it makes it a lot easier for you to work on. And what I've also done is gone ahead and mounted a mic on my A pillar right there. Now, this part I don't usually show in my video because everyone likes to mount their mic in a different position and in a different order. Now, how I like to do it is I like them on the A pillar. Is the clearest quality I find it to be, but some people, they prefer it next to their steering, some on the windscreen. It's just a very much personal preference stuff. So we'll go ahead and tape it up here so it's also looking nice and neat. Now we can start mounting our aerial. This long one right here is your Wi-Fi antenna. Just go ahead and mount that in. Now the Wi-Fi antenna goes in on a flat piece of plastic, which is right here. I've got a big flat piece of plastic. Undo the tie. That is probably enough lead for me, and then what I'll do for the balance is go ahead and tape it all up. There's the Wi-Fi antenna done. Next part on here would be your GPS antenna, which is this square one here. That's most of my plugs done. The last one would be mounting the SIM card slot with the microphone input. So this is where you can mount in your external microphone. Otherwise, you can use the one on board as well. I usually like to use this. Seems to work a lot better. Goes into the port that says mic. Plug it in. Tape it up. Now you'll see there's a blue and black wire coming here with this plug at the end. This is where the fan from the head unit will connect. So this is the fan plug from the head unit. They will connect together. We use active cooling in all of our system as compared to just passive cooling. This allows for a lot longer lasting unit, and the performance is consistent on hot days, on cold days, when you're doing intense tasks, when you're multitasking, having YouTube and Netflix or something going on there. Now with that, we're pretty much good to go. I'm just gonna quickly run this into the glove box. Just push it through. All right, so now what we'll do for the next bit is go ahead and put these clips back onto the new fascia. Mounting the plug first for cooling. And then you can pick either side and start working your way. I like to go from that side, so let's go ahead. The bottom one is my Wi-Fi antenna. Let's bring out the Wi-Fi antenna from here. Put it at the very bottom. Go ahead and screw it on.
Second one is your GPS antenna. Go ahead and screw it on. Then would come your aerial. So just go here, connect to the aerial. Then comes your camera plug. So the camera plug goes in there. Then comes your factory USB. Goes in there. Again, everything can only go in one way, so you can't get this wrong. Mounted my CAN bus. Then comes your plug for the SIM card tray, the big one. Flip it upside down, plug it in. That's in. The final one is your power harness. So let's go ahead and put it in. And with that, I think all of the plugs have been put into their place. Now we can go ahead and push it back in spot. Let's go ahead and do that. And because everything is taped up, nothing is going to rattle. Go ahead and push it all back into spot. Perfect. Then you can go ahead and mount your air ducts on either side. Perfect. Do the same thing on the other side. And finally, the top part here. And the last bit to go on is the silver trim. So usually whatever comes out first goes back in last. Let's just go ahead and mount this one back in spot. Align it up first. Or just go ahead and push it in like a little Lego. And you can go ahead and peel this off. And what I'm going to do at this stage is go ahead and clean the whole car up, pack up all of my tools, move everything away, then I'll show you how to set up the unit. All right, now starting it up, you can see the system is turned on. So now a few ways I like to set it up. First thing I like to do is turn the hotspot on my phone, or if you got a SIM card in, you'll be putting the SIM card in. Go ahead and connect it to the internet the first thing. Let's go connect it to phone's hotspot. WAC, put in the password 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Click connect, we'll let it connect, and we'll do all the other stuff after. All right, so let's go ahead and set it up as I would set up my own car. First thing I like to do is get rid of that. So go in the velocity, turn it off. This is just an additional AI that comes in as a part of the screen. Don't really need it. You've got Google Assistant, Siri, and all of that. Now, the next part we like to do is to go into settings. First thing, go more. Go at the bottom, click system, date and time, and change the time zone. Set it to your region. Now we'll be doing Australia, Sydney. Done. So we now spot on time. Now let's go ahead and set other stuff up. Now reverse. You can see there's a lot of things in here. Now how I like to do reversing is to keep this at 70%. This is how much volume you will have once you put the car into reverse. So when you're on a phone call, you want it to dim down a bit when you're in reverse, but you definitely don't want it to cut out all the way. But it's up to you. It's a personal preference thing. Next thing we want to do is go ahead and do 1 2 3 4 5 6 in the factory. Click confirm. Scroll down, scroll down, scroll down. Change the radio region to Australia. Cut it out. Then you go microphone selection. Now we're going to use rear microphone for most of the calling. We will select rear there. That is pretty much it for this section. Let's go ahead and set up this part here. So I like to have my CarPlay or Z-Link on here. So go ahead, select Z-Link. I like to have Bluetooth connectivity there. So Bluetooth, Z-Link, my radio, and you can choose any app to go on here. Usually what I like to do is DSP, so you can tune your speakers as you like. Click on the Z-Link, click settings here. This is right-hand drive car. FPS engine makes the whole thing smoother. Background connection is where it automatically connects to CarPlay when you get in the car, not only to Bluetooth. And link mode is your CarPlay mode. Mirror mode is your phone mirroring mode. Now everyone likes to use CarPlay, so leave it to that. And then click on the phone, click all the test devices. Change the name to whatever you like. So you want to call it RAV4. Click confirm. Click on this setting icon here, the hexagon looking thing. Click on microphone gain and make it high. Now our microphone can support high. If you're not using one of the external mic and you're using the inbuilt mic, don't put it too high, it will start distorting. And let's go ahead and set up the radio stations. Just click on the search icon here. You can save up to 18 stations at a time. So let it do the thing. Now pretty much everything is set up. Now once everything is set up, what you want to do is swipe down, turn off your Wi-Fi, If you got a SIM card, you don't need to worry about it. I like to usually restart the system before pairing up my phone. That way it will save all the settings and then you can pair up your phone, and I'll show you how to do it. It's quite easy how to get into CarPlay. Alright, so on your phone you want to go into settings, go into Bluetooth. Once you're in Bluetooth, it will be quite easy. Just click on the Bluetooth here, click search, it will come up with the phone's name. Press and hold, click OK. We'll wait for it to come into CarPlay. And just allow the things here on your phone. You'll see connect CarPlay, you click connect. The first time it will prompt a little box for a warning. Just click don't show this again. Click OK. And you're on. You're into Apple CarPlay. And you can see it's quite nice and smooth. The first time when you pair up, it will be syncing with your phone, so it will take a couple of seconds before it gets really, really nice. Let's go ahead and play something, make sure it's working. All of that is working, that's good. Full screen maps, half screen maps. So you can go ahead and log into your Play Store here, and then you can download and play any app that you like. Really, really amazing. Now, if you guys got any question in regards to this install or any other install, if you got another car, if you're a shop doing this and you need some support with one of our products, give us a yell at info@westernautocustom.com.au, or just give us a ring if you're in Australia at 0475 469 577 to see how we can help you with your car. Peace.